game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at USC. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at huskerfantravel.com.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Are you tired of the same old entertainment options? How about something that's truly fun for both kids and adults? Nebraska Knockerball, the new place to go for your private and corporate parties. Step inside one of their inflatable spears and let out stress in a healthy form of exercise. Or try the human foosball, foot darts, yard pong, giant beer pong, basketball Connect 4, and much more. Nebraska Knockerball, specializing in physical, engaging fun. Call Nebraska Knockerball today at 402-460-8724 to learn more or book a reservation now.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! You're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Happy Friday, y'all. We are making it to the end of another work week. I'm Austin Norman, joined by the Husker Hall of Famer at 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. What's good, partner?
Oh, man.
Life good? You good?
You already know what's on my mind. We are part of the Ticket family, and once again, the Ticket man strikes. The Ticket man strikes again. It's unfreaking believable how, I mean, you just walk in the door and the guy's out there. It's like, God dang, can you get in the building?
He's probably camping around the corner. He sees you pull up. He's like, I got him.
Yeah,
I got him
it's him again.
Yeah,
I know.
He's back. He wants more.
I'm not as bad as Nick, but it is pretty bad, but it's all good. We gonna make it. We gonna make it.
If you need something made or built, go to NEBCO. They're your people. They are Nebraska's oldest paving company. Their operations span the state of Nebraska, supply the construction industry with the materials needed to construct buildings, streets, and highways. They've been doing it since 1908. Fourth generation family-owned and operated business with over 1,200 employees and 26 companies throughout Nebraska. You want to be a part of the NEBCO team? Visit nebcoinc.com. Hiring for a couple different companies under that family umbrella. We know you're part of our team. We know if you're listening to On the Block, you are already a blockhead. We appreciate you. We're getting into football season, right? You stuck with us through the summer. We found some stuff to talk about. You guys got us through. But Stricky, here we are. We are on the doorstep of another football season. It officially kicks off tomorrow. We get the game in Dublin between Florida State and Georgia Tech. And then it's off to the races. 3 more games tomorrow. Then, we get Coach Prime versus North Dakota State on Thursday. We're off and running. Luckily, this summer we had the Olympics, right? Some news in the NBA as well. But man, our job feels easy now once we get to college football season.
Hey, quick question. When you think about that, that's not an easy game for them. North Dakota State.
Oh yeah, no.
By
Not
any
easy at all.
means.
No.
Be careful. Like
Mhm.
it can
Mess around.
and find out. Yeah, no doubt about it. That's a danger zone game, but it's a good tester too early for your team.
Mhm.
It just depends on how you view it. But yeah, tough.
That will be on Thursday. Colorado, I believe Nick said, is 9.5-point favorites already. So we'll see how that line moves. I would probably pick Colorado to win. Don't forget North Dakota State's head coach, just up and left, to be the linebackers coach for USC. So he will be in the Big Ten. Nebraska will see Matt Entz in late October, early November. So we'll definitely keep our eyes on that in those games. Stricky, I saw this story pop up yesterday, and I don't know how many other college coaches this could have happened to. Rick Pitino had his office at St. John's broken into, and the thieves stole a ceremonial sword and a bullhorn. How many coaches' offices have you walked into where there's been a sword and a bullhorn?
Well, maybe he's a big fan of Game of Thrones.
Must be.
Maybe he ventured down into the land of the dragon, and he needed a sword, and they gave him a ceremonial one. I mean, he's always said he's a warrior, so that's probably what happened. He needed a bullhorn to yell, Dracarys. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that.
Could you tell what the person? Let's say you're going to a team for the first time. You walk into the head coach's office. Do you kind of know what he's about based on how the office is decorated, or not decorated?
I don't know if I can totally say that, because there are times where wives may come in and do the deed. As far as helping out with internal furnitures and stuff like that, or secretaries. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can fully, say that. But I mean, he's been around. He's seen a lot. He's a New York guy. Maybe the Yakuza, wanted to put him in the ranks as a what do they call it? When you're somebody that's not necessarily a part of the club, but you honorary member.
Honorary, yeah.
Maybe they're making them honorary. I don't know, but that's kind of wild. The bullhorn. I don't know.
See, that strikes me as more Viking.
Yeah. No, don't they have? Is it a bull? Isn't the bullhorn the one that you click and it goes? You speak into it, or is it the?
Oh, I'm picturing like medieval bullhorn.
Yeah.
I mean, they have like the modern ones, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's
but
not very clear.
Why would you steal a sword and a,
first
electronic bullhorn?
First of all, with technology that we have today in today's modern age, like, you don't have cameras?
Oh, they do have cameras. And here's the thing,
you don't have an alarm?
They got these guys on tape. They I don't know if they've identified them yet or not. But come to find out, these two men left the facility with the sword and the bullhorn, and they made their getaways heading westbound on Union Turnpike on a moped.
Just be on the lookout. William, no doubt. You know what I'm talking about. William Durazo, thank you for chiming in on the StreamYard line. Hey, listen. Look for the pawn shops. Listen, I'm a big fan. I've watched Pawn Stars. I see when they walk in there with those, those unique type of items, there's some paperwork that gets, and a lot of the times they don't ask like where you get it from.
They know better than to ask.
Right. So I don't know. Keep your eyes on the pawn shop. Maybe maybe it's unfortunate. You're going to probably have to pay God for it. But at the end of the day, at least you'll get it back. If it's sentimental to you, it has sentimental value.
Rick Harrison looks at the sword and says, best I can do is $500.
Wow. I mean, if it's 500 he didn't have, he came in on a moped. Now he can order an Uber next time.
How far does $500 get you in an Uber in New York? That's pretty pricey up there.
Listen, it is. It's an inflated price. Like, listen, it's not It's not very far from LaGuardia to Manhattan.
True.
It's not very far.
So just walk.
No, it's farther than that. But it's almost 60 something bucks sometimes, $70 just from there to, like, come on, bro. Like, y'all, but I understand because you have to pay toll fee, road fee,
wheel tax,
pothole fee, wheel tax,
bridge tax,
gas tax. There's about 15 taxes before you even get to Manhattan. And then you've got to pay park tax and pull-up tax. And, I mean, so there's all of these tax. So I get why it's so much. But then you can't really park, and that would be the great. I know it's corruption like crazy, right? Because to get a permit to build a parking garage, do you know that's millions of dollars a year?
Mm-hmm.
That multi-millions that they make just on having a freaking park, just like what we have. Crazy. They get because the people that live in the area pay monthly, and then the people that come get charged up the yin yang.
Yep.
So yeah, it's crazy. There's nothing about. And then, like, I remember, Austin, when I used to because we lived up in Rybrook. I lived in Rybrook, which is up kind of upstate, headed toward White Plains. And then we practiced at SUNY Purchase when I played with the Knicks. Then I told you that Mark let me borrow one of his apartments. Mark Cuban, let me borrow one of his apartments. So
that's like Westchester-ish?
No, with Mark's, his was in Mark's spot was in Central Park West. Okay. So to park on if you parked on certain days and you didn't move your car in time, like, they would boot you, or because they would clean, or they would do trash. It's something like certain times of the day, or Tuesday or Thursday at these times, if you're parked here on the street, you can get ticket.
Oh boy.
It's crazy. So, like, parking in the city stunk. I hated it. So
did they get you more than 93.7 the parking tickets,
man,
guys?
they definitely did. They hit you over the head for the ticket.
And again, the parking people are not associated with the ticket. It's just funny because we're called the ticket. So there's nothing to do with anything other than City of Lincoln parking. It's just funny. We're all clear on that.
So that's just a little insight.
Do you have any memorable stories from coaches' offices before we go to break?
I can't say I do. I
know you're a straight A student. You didn't call to the principal's office.
Yeah. No, that didn't happen until probably my sophomore year. My freshman year, I was just kind of get along to get by. But then I had a conversation with my dad. That conversation was very enlightening. He always told me, and that's the one thing I can always appreciate about my dad, Matthew Strickland, is he told me, he was like, so what happens if, and he would do it real smooth. Like, it would never be like in your face, browbeaten. It would never be anything like that. But Matthew Strickland would come and he'd just say something real subtle. He'd say, so, I see your grades are, very mediocre. Are you applying yourself? Yeah, I think I am. No, I wasn't. You got a couple of C's, B, 1A, the A would be in physical, P or something like that, right?
Did you get an A in lunch?
Yeah, that too.
Bad boy.
So he would just say, so what happens if you, break your leg or tear a knee? What happens? Well, I'm going to the NBA or I'm going to the NFL. Yeah. So what happens if, and I'd be like, and I really had to think about that, Austin, as a young man. I was always a free thinker. I was never a person where you just can just tell me something and I'd just be like, yeah, I'm with that. Okay. Yeah. I'm not that guy. So I really thought about that. I was like, ooh, well, the one thing that no one will ever be able to take away from me is paper, mind. You know what I mean? And then I started to understand how I can leverage and use that. You know what I mean? Because the things that I didn't understand are the classes I knew that I probably had to work a little harder in. I knew how to go from sitting in the back of the room to the front. It's just perception. The perception to the teacher is, I want to be engaged, right? There are certain teachers that respected and liked the fact that you're an athlete. But then there were some that didn't, so definitely the ones that didn't, I always would, play the game. I'd get right in front of them. And I got, not that they pushed me through, it was just that I got a little bit more leniency and not as harsh treatment. Sure. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's go to break. When we get back, let's hear from Nebraska head football coach Matt Rhule. Huskers P, let us know who you're rooting for in that game you're going to be at on Sunday. You certainly know which way I'm leaning. Thanks for texting in. Matt Rhule had a lot to say about how fall camp went, his perception of it, his takeaways, and what went into naming Dylan Raiola the starting quarterback. Let's hear from the head coach next during On the Block. Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. Navigating the legal system can be stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. Liberty Law Group is here to do the heavy lifting for you. We believe in treating every client with respect and understanding. When you're in need of legal assistance, trust Liberty Law Group to fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Hay season is a race against time. Win that race with an all-new 1 Series round baler from Landmark Implement. The all-new John Deere 1 Series round baler is a revolutionary leap in baler technology that captures near real-time moisture and weight data that can be analyzed through Operations Center to improve your bale quality and farm efficiency. Are you ready to upgrade your hay equipment? Contact your local Landmark location for full details on the new 1 Series round baler and experience the Landmark difference.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for ready-mixed concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Looking for a place to host a one-of-a-kind private game day experience for your staff or clients? Courtyard Marriott downtown is just blocks from the stadium and steps away from all the fanfare. You'll enjoy use of an entire entertainment space, including outdoor courtyard, accommodations for 250-plus guests. Party starts 3 hours before kickoff, and they'll clean up while you go and enjoy the game. Call Courtyard Marriott at 402-904-4800 for more info or to book your pregame party today. Limited dates available.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score up to $2,000 off the brand new Kawasaki Ridge. Built for work or play, the Kawasaki Ridge takes off-road comfort to a whole new level. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of August. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, probably sunny skies with a high around 85. Tonight, probably cloudy skies, but showers and storms arrive late. Still low around 70. And tomorrow, decreasing cloud cover throughout the day. Will be hot with a high around 95. Meteorologist Kyle Clucker from 93.7 The Ticket and TicketFM.com.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you 2 to 4 weekdays. Our last show of the week here during On the Block, brought to you by Nebco. Hey, Good Sense Friday, by the way. 5 Lincoln locations. Make sure you check them out if you still need supper plans tonight. Matt Rhule spoke for the last time in fall camp before they get into, actual season practices next week. Huskers and UTEP now just 8 days away. Matt Rhule had a lot to say, and I think a pretty obvious spot to start, Stricky, is with the quarterback position. Let's start with Matt Rhule was asked about how the quarterbacks found out that Dylan Raiola was indeed named the starting quarterback.
When did you let the quarterbacks know of the decision, and for all 3 of them, how did they handle that?
The morning that we released it. Yeah, I brought Heinrich in first, talked to him. I brought Danny in next, talked to him, and walking off the field, I told Dylan that, hey, we just released a graphic that you're the starter. It's not really in our world. This isn't really as big as it is maybe outside, right? Like at the end of the day, everyone's really just worried about themselves and competing. And, Heinrich, like I said, Heinrich is a Cornhusker. He's a Nebraska guy. Like he's for this team. And I think he recognizes how good Dylan has played. He also understands how the season goes, and he has to keep getting better and better and better at quarterback because he's made a big jump at quarterback from last year to this year. And we can win with him. And he also wants to have another role, so we'll have that ready for him too. And then Danny, I think Danny sees how good he's gotten. And I think Danny recognizes the future he's going to have. So he's just saying, he had said to me earlier in the week, I just take every rep and I'm trying to get myself ready. If you ever need me, I'm ready to go. So we have great character in that room.
All right, Stricky, what do you think about how Matt Rhule announced it, bringing Harburg in first, then Kalen, and then just kind of casually mentioning to Dylan Raiola that, hey, there's a tweet up that's saying you're the starting quarterback?
I think that's fine. I think it's a good thing to go to the other guys, because you have this, you're able to establish respect and rapport with the process. You're able to have the conversations and answer questions that may be posed because of, that you may have in your mind. And then you're able to observe and talk about, what have you seen? Where do you feel, you're able to have these real, because again, you've got to understand that retention is important in today's game.
Especially the way Nebraska wants to build.
Yeah, the way they want to do it, man. It's so important, Austin. And so those conversations are great. And then it sounds to me that he handled Harburg the way that I had shared. Again, I don't have football access the same way that I probably would with basketball. So I said that I would have sat down with him, and you can tell by the conversation that you just heard on that soundbite. You can tell that he had a sit down with him and asked him where do you view yourself? What do you believe? Here's what I think you need to do. Here's how you need to get better. And you can tell he worked on that. This is why I like Harburg. You got something you got to go?
I was just going to say, what is the role for Harburg, right? Matt Rhule's asked about that. Outside of just being the backup quarterback and signaling in plays, what would the role for Heinrich Harburg look like?
Yeah.
Here's Matt Rhule on what that could be.
Yeah, I think that remains to be seen. You know, I probably don't want to give too much out to everybody, but I mean, I think in fairness to Heinrich, I just have so much respect for him as a competitor. He can go out and do anything. I mean, look at Coach Frost, right? Like, I mean, Coach Frost was a one of the great quarterbacks in college football history, and then goes on and plays safety in the National Football League. And that Heinrich reminds me so much of that. Like, Heinrich to me could be a great safety. He'd probably be a great linebacker. He'd be a great tailback, wide out tight end. And so we have the opportunity to use him, when needed. At the same time, I also don't want to lose my number 2 quarterback because, he ran a dive. So there's a fine line there, but we're not going to play this year out of fear. We're not going to play like, what if this goes wrong? I know sometimes that's the way people think. That's the way sometimes I think, but we've made a decision this year that we're going to attack. We're going to go all in on this team and attack with everything we have. And Heinrich's a big part of that. So we're going to use him.
Voila. See, if you listen on the block, you might get some insight on a few things. I mean, that was just straight conversations that we had about the program and what we envisioned and what we saw. And I didn't have any conversations with them. And I just felt that you just can't not use every weapon that you have in your arsenal, in your toolbox. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that goes with what Matt Rhule said at the very end of that quote. We're not going to play scared this year. That's something I have to keep reminding myself of. That's something that I'm working on, is what Matt Rhule said. And Strick, that to me is, they're not going to be afraid to open up the playbook. They're not going to be afraid to, go through the cupboard and see what spice they can add, because playing scared isn't any way to win football games. I can understand maybe some hesitancy from the coaching staff last year with all the turnovers, with the offense, right? Maybe it felt like being conservative was the way to go. But you can't pretend like the players don't pick up on the coach's apprehension in those situations, right? Even if the coaches are going to be conservative, they have to be convicted in what they're doing. And I think naming Dylan Raiola the starting quarterback was a decision they were convicted in. I think, this belief in Heinrich Harburg is a legitimate conviction, not just we appreciate him, we respect him, we want to find a place for him lip service. To me, when Matt Rhule says he doesn't want to play scared, it's he wants to actually show how much he believes in these players by using them, not being scared to use them.
Well said. And again, you can see pieces of that happen last year. Like you can actually see there was a preparedness for that, and now there's confidence in that.
Mm-hmm.
He's preparing he last year to me was, we're playing with not a stack deck, but with a hand that is, I have to bluff through this.
Yeah, 2 4s, a 7.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there is not, like, if I turn in 5 of these cards, everybody knows I have a doo-doo hand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I've got to keep a couple of these, maybe place a bet or 2, and really lay on my poker. I mean, it was, what am I going to do with this? Right? But he put players out there and believed in them and trusted in them and allowed them to grow and to learn and to fail. And with that, now you're seeing the confidence that he's now expressing into his team, into his players, individually and collectively. And so hopefully what you'll see this year is a result of what that preparedness was and what he laid the groundwork for last year.
So why is Dylan Raiola starting? This is our first chance to hear from Matt Rhule as to, why the decision was made, what he's seen from Dylan Raiola. Here's what went into Dylan Raiola being named starter, Heinrich Harburg the backup.
I felt all along like Dylan could be the starter game 1. The problem was I also felt like so could Heinrich. I also felt like so could Danny. And Danny had a really, really, really strong week and a really strong scrimmage too. Why did he win the job? Why did Dylan win the job? I think Dylan puts all the pieces in play, and that doesn't mean the other guys don't, but I think Dylan has elite arm strength. He understands all the run game checks. He understands the entire RPO game. He understands the situational football. And I think he's really cleaned up his footwork in the pocket, which was one of the big things. I know sometimes people want us to name a starter because it's the most convenient thing, but at the end of the day, I mean, we want to be a program where you earn things. And so while you might be ahead of people, until you show me you can do this, you're not the starter. And that challenges people to go do this. And so I think one of the biggest things for Dylan has been, and it's really a lot about young quarterbacks now, is Dylan can drop back and throw it behind his back and probably hit you. He can throw it underhanded. But we don't want to do that unless we have to. And so often now these guys are they're going out and to be evaluated at, whatever, thing, and they're making all these off-platform throws. But, I showed Dylan about 60 reps of Tom Brady, and he's on platform, and so Dylan's worked so hard at his pocket presence. And once he to me cleared that hurdle, I saw how close the other guys were coming, and I feel like he's the starter. But Danny's going to keep working, and Heinrich's going to keep working, and and really honestly, I'll tell you what, if Jalen goes in the game, I feel like Jalen can move the team. So we have 4 guys I feel really confident in to lead the team.
As is typical, Strick, when we hear the coaches or the team talk about the quarterbacks, pretty much everyone gets brought up. Dylan Rhule was not the first player addressed. It was Daniel Kalen and then Heinrich Harburg and even a Jalen Gramstad mentioned there at the end. But I liked what Matt Rhule had to say about how you might be ahead of guys, but you're not the starter till you earned it. I thought Dylan Rhule looked the best in the pocket, and yet the coaching staff said that wasn't enough. From the spring game, they wanted to see more. You might be ahead, you might be the 5-star recruit, but we want to be a program where you earn your position. He wasn't over the top effusive, but you can tell, I think, from his delivery, how he said it, Matt Rhule believes in Dylan Rhule as the starting quarterback. It's not just, we'll give it to the 5-star, or he's the best we got.
Yeah. And that's different from what we've seen in the past, right? It was kind of like some things were gifted because of, you had opportunity because of, we recruited you and told you you were, and we have to adhere to our word because of. It doesn't seem like that's the case. Because I think like we talked about, some of our listeners also chimed in on yesterday talking about, I think that Ty will start, and I think that Linhart will fit. Like, I believe that this coaching staff will do that because I saw it last year. Washington went down. I mean, you saw the younger guys a lot more than when you saw and Washington initially was probably your best returner, right? Marcus Washington.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think he will do it. I literally think he would do it. I think if Dylan struggled and was not, I think he would go another way. And that's the seeds that have been planted, because what we think this program is going to, because they're not in a competitive way able right now to be on the same part with Ohio State or any of those top programs. That's Oregon, that's shilling out the paperwork, right? They're not on par with that. So you're going to get your selections, but when you do, you want to be able to have a conversation and tell the story. And when they track the record, because let's be real, in today's society, if you put something out there, like, look, we're not a political entity, but I'm just going to use this as an example. Like your boy, Waltz.
Okay.
Right. Waltz had put out their information saying that he's, he was this rank and it's on record. It's on record how you said it, what you said, the context of what you said, and it can be brought back up. In today's society more than any, we've got to be mindful of what we say and how we act or how we're viewed, because it can all be on video. It can all be tracked. It can all be traced. And those same sound bites are on record recorded. So somebody can go back and say, oh, you're not doing what you said. And that's what you don't ever want. You want to always be able to stand before a recruit, sit before a family, have discussions with peer groups, and be able to say, this is my authenticity as a coach. Somebody can go out there and tell you and sell you a whole bunch of dreams, but one thing you're going to get from me is authenticity. And that's what made Tom Osborne great.
Yeah.
And I think Rhule is within that same pedigree where I don't think he's going to sell you the car salesman dream. He's going to tell you like it is, and you may like it or you may not. But I think that's why a lot of players stayed as opposed to left when they could have.
Absolutely. And we'll get into players staying and leaving when we get to the top of the 3 o'clock hour. Nick mentioned it in the crossover. New transfer rules being put before the NCAA Rules Committee from the Oversight Committee.
When would they be implemented?
For next year.
Right.
Potentially. So we'll get to that at the top of the hour. But Stricky, as we go to break, I want you to think about the most important 3-week stretch for Husker football this season. Text line, we want your thoughts too. What's the most important 3-week stretch for the Huskers in 2024? Let us know at 402-464-5685, or be like William if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter for that matter. You can comment there as well. If you're getting in touch with us, it's big thanks to Starter Heyman Jewelers. We're also open for phone calls, same number, 402-464-5685 on our Honda of Lincoln hotline. Quick break, wrap up hour 1 of On the Block on a Friday right after this.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Hey, it's your girl Jordan from Starter Heyman Jewelers. It's official. Wedding season is here. And we know that every detail counts. From bridal party gifts to the finishing touches for the bride and groom, discover our exclusive selection of watches and fine jewelry. Did you know we even offer in-house engraving? Celebrate your special day with a personal touch and a timeless gift they'll cherish forever. Until next time, this is Jordan at Starter Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Hay season is a race against time. Win that race with an all-new 1-Series round baler from Landmark Implement. The all-new John Deere 1-Series round baler is a revolutionary leap in baler technology that captures near real-time moisture and weight data that can be analyzed through Operations Center to improve your bale quality and farm efficiency. Are you ready to upgrade your hay equipment? Contact your local Landmark location for full details on the new 1-Series round baler and experience the Landmark difference.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring a friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry,
this deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Husker Nation, your women's basketball team is gearing up for another incredible season, and you can be right in the heart of the action. Get your season tickets today and guarantee your spot for another year of Husker dominance. Witness every key basket, every clutch steal, and celebrate every victory with the most dedicated fans in the nation. Don't wait. Head over to huskers.com/tickets and secure your seat for this unforgettable season. Go Big Red.
Over 75% of the patients that come to Limitless Male have been told over and over again by their primary care providers that their testosterone level is fine. Guess what? If you have all the symptoms of low testosterone, you're not fine. Come get a second opinion at Limitless Male. We have helped tens of thousands of men feel optimal again, and we can help you. Stop waiting. Come see the men's health experts. Book your free consult online at limitlessmale.com.
It's time for a home technology makeover. And with special Labor Day savings on top name electronics, you can take your home, backyard, or tailgate to an all-new level. Choose from top name TVs like Sony, LG, and Samsung, including Samsung's popular frame TV that blends seamlessly into your decor. Experience game day throughout your entire home with a new audio system from Sonos, now with special Labor Day bundle savings. Transform your game day this Labor Day with the experts at Schaefer's.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com. If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful, with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up hour one of On the Block here on a beautiful Friday in the capital city. We're down here at 1040 O Street. If you work remotely, hang out at the mill. Got a patio for you outside. You can work in the nice weather. If you work downtown in an office, grab your laptop. Come sit with us at the mill. Come hang out, say hi. 1040 O Street. All right, Stricky, most important 3 weeks of the 2024 season for the Huskers. Most important 3-week stretch. What do you think?
I'm going to say from November 16th to the 29th.
That strikes me as that would be
USC,
Wisconsin, Iowa.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to say that is because we've seen Nebraska football able to get off and do well and play well early, but we just haven't seen them finish the job.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a tough stretch. It's one that's going to challenge them. It's one against, obviously on the road in California. There's a tendency to be excited about that, to go out to be in LA, skyline of sun and fun when it's going to be probably nice and cold right here. It's different. It's, it's a different type of challenge. You can either get over giddy about it, or you can go get focused and go in there and shake it up, depending on where you find yourself sitting. I would be looking at it from a standpoint of, one, we want to sweep Cali. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be able to take on UCLA, mop them up at home in Memorial Stadium, and then go on the road right the week after that, or 2 weeks, you get a bye week, and then buck them. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I used to look at it. Like, I don't just want to go down to Oklahoma and beat the Sooners. I want to go beat Okie State too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to just go and beat Kansas State. We didn't ever win at Kansas. That was always a tough spot. But your mindset is like, it's kind of like the game Risk.
Mm.
Like, when you play Risk, like, I want territory. I want to dominate the area. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way you used to look at it. I think that's a tough stretch, but it's a stretch because if you envision them handling their business early, you're looking at a 6-1, 7-2. But if they handle that back end, that puts you in a great position to be able to have a special winner in a bowl game.
with you on that text line, we have D-Man and 6828, both saying the first 3 weeks. UTEP, Colorado, and Northern Illinois. 6828 says it's a momentum and confidence builder. D-Man says if we go 1-2 or 0-3 to start, there will be panic. Not from me, but there will be panic from the masses. I get it. I get the start fast. I get the finish strong. Like you've been saying, you said that yesterday as well, right? You're not just, pulling that out of nowhere. For me, the most important 3-game stretch is going to be Illinois, Purdue, and Rutgers. Start conference playoff on the right foot. None of these teams are great, but they're good enough to get you. 2 of those games are in Lincoln. Purdue's the one on the road in the middle. And that's a Friday game against Illinois, extra day for Purdue, regular week against Rutgers. But maybe the most important 3-game stretch for me, Strick, is how Nebraska handles 2 out of 3 on the road. It's Purdue and Rutgers. Then you do have a bye week before you go to Indiana. It's a 3-game stretch over 4 weeks there. That, to me, will determine a lot about Nebraska's season. With Ohio State the next week, Nebraska doesn't have the right to overlook Indiana even in year 1 of a new coach. Will the Huskers be focused on the task at hand? How do they look coming out of the bye week? Are they fresh? Are they sluggish? I don't know. You're coming off a game against Rutgers that's probably going to be, a rock fight in Lincoln. And I don't know what to make of Purdue. Probably not going to be very good, but Purdue has beat better teams in Ross-Ade Stadium. The reason I asked for the 3 weeks here real quick before we go to break, my Kansas City Royals, Stricky, they're about to go through it. Right now, they are 3.5 games up on the Boston Red Sox, tied with the Minnesota Twins for the final 2 wild card spots. Right now, it'd be 3 AL Central teams in the MLB playoffs. The Royals' next 20 games take place over a stretch of 20 days. They have 1 off day. They also have a doubleheader. 3 games starting tonight with the National League East leading Philadelphia Phillies in Kansas City. On the road at AL Central leading Cleveland for 4. On the road at AL West leading Houston for 4. You come back home for 3 games against the Guardians, and then 3 against the Twins before you hit the road, the end of this 20-game stretch. 3 on the road at the New York Yankees. Stricky, it's been a magical season so far for the Royals, and I hope they continue it. But when you look at those different sections of Nebraska's season, you can't really say the season comes down to this stretch or this stretch or that stretch.
Yeah.
Given that there's like 35 games to go at this point for the Royals, give or take, not exactly in there. I think it's 35 in that range at least. I'm pretty confident saying the Royals season comes down to these next 20 games. If the Royals are still holding on to a playoff position after this 20-game stretch, as soon as they're done playing the Yankees the evening of September 11th in New York, the Royals are a playoff team. I feel very confident saying that. If the Royals are out of playoff position, if this stretch doesn't go well, they don't hold serve, they take on a little bit too much water, you have the Pirates, the Tigers, the Giants, the Nationals, and the Braves all remaining. And that series with Atlanta at the end of the year scares me. Atlanta's in the 3rd wild card spot right now in the National League side. Odds are they have something to play for. And they'll be at home. And that's a team with not just postseason pedigree, but World Series pedigree. If it comes down to the Royals needing to take 2 out of 3 or Atlanta needing to take 2 out of 3 to, shore up their playoff position, I think you have to give the edge to Atlanta in a series like that, given that they've been there before in the big moments. So, man, I think these next 20 games are it for the Royals. They'll tell you how the end of the season goes.
As you look at this and weigh it all out, do you truly envision that they're ready for this moment?
I don't know. I sure hope so. I know Bobby's ready. I know Salvi's been there before.
Yeah.
From there, we'll see. Bullpen's got some work to do over these last 35 or so games. Starting rotation's been pretty lights out, but, as soon as you face good teams, your numbers aren't often as good. So the rotation, to me, has to keep it up. It's going to be a tall task. Bobby's ready. I hope Vinny's ready. I know Salvi's ready. And then we'll see. I still have plenty of questions about this team, but they've hung in there this long. So you've made it this far. Why fade now?
Yeah.
Royals and Phillies 6:30 pregame tonight here on 93.7 The Ticket with a 6:10 or a 7:10 first pitch. That tells you that corner 3 will be on air for 25 minutes before we shift over to the stream starting after Old School at 6. Hour 2 of On the Block comes your way here in just a moment. We'll dive into some potential new NCAA transfer portal rules, and Nebraska given 2 of the top 100 transfers in college football to watch for the 2024 season. I bet you can guess them, but give us your guesses at 402-464-5685. Who are the 2 transfers in the top 100 that will play for Nebraska in 2024? We'll answer that. We'll talk through some potential new rules and plenty more when we get back to On the Block.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. Are you looking for affordable drinks and a great atmosphere this football season? Highball Bar has you covered. Whether it's pregame tailgating, postgame festivities, or in-game celebrations, Highball Bar is the place to be. With $4 beers, $4 mixed drinks, and more during their 4 to 8 p.m. daily happy hour, Highball Bar will quickly become your go-to place to sit back, unwind, and be your team's #1 fan. Highball Bar, located in downtown Lincoln, just 3 blocks from Memorial Stadium at 122 North 11th Street.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, probably sunny skies with a high around 85. Tonight, probably cloudy skies, but showers and storms arrive late. Still low around 70. And tomorrow, decreasing cloud cover throughout the day. Will be hot with a high around 95. Meteorologist Kyle Clucker from 93.7 The Ticket and TicketFM.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. Navigating the legal system can be stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. Liberty Law Group is here to do the heavy lifting for you. We believe in treating every client with respect and understanding. When you're in need of legal assistance, trust Liberty Law Group to fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service, employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score up to $2,000 off the brand new Kawasaki Ridge. Built for work or play, the Kawasaki Ridge takes off-road comfort to a whole new level. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of August. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hey, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. It's official. Wedding season is here, and we know that every detail counts. From bridal party gifts to the finishing touches for the bride and groom, discover our exclusive selection of watches and fine jewelry. Did you know we even offer in-house engraving? Celebrate your special day with a personal touch and a timeless gift they'll cherish forever. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
For 15 years, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping has been helping Lincoln become healthier, happier, and more fit through our proven combination of kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching. And to celebrate 15 years of success, we're offering you 50% off our next 10-week challenge beginning September 14th. That's 10 weeks of fun group fitness classes and individualized coaching for half off. And at the end of the 10 weeks, someone's walking away with $1,000 for the best transformation. Come check it out. What do you have to lose? Click on the banner at theticketfm.com to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill or 70th and Vine. And check us out online at fxblincoln.com.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by Nebco. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Hour 2 of On the Block brought to you by Nebco, as is every show. If you're looking to start your new career today, maybe next week, let them know. Check them out at nebcoinc.com. I'm Austin Norman, Eric Strickland to my left. Before we dive into some potential new NCAA transfer portal rules, let's go to the text line here. Strick, this is based off of the quarterback conversation, the cuts that we heard from Matt Rhule in his press conference earlier today. Thunderknot Collins, friend of the station, Blockhead, says, "It seems so silly to me that a coach can't stand in front of the press and say, based off of what we saw this spring and fall, this guy is better than that guy without being crucified." I get it, but I also think that the this guy is better than this guy part is kind of assumed, right? It's out there. And so, especially in this case where Matt Rhule and his coaching staff seem very high on Heinrich Harburg as a guy they want to keep around, you can't be effusive in praising the guy that you just anointed the starting quarterback, named the starting quarterback, whatever. You have to, and that's not Matt Rhule's style, right? He's not going to go over the top. He's going to be pretty low-key and chill and down to earth when he describes these things. But at the same time, if you want to keep your backup quarterback around, you have to find a way to tell people who won the job, but you can't say who lost the job. You can't say he finished second, he's the backup. It's he won the second string job, right? He competed with Daniel Kalen and Heinrich has the edge right now as the number 2 quarterback. You have to frame it that way, especially if you want to keep the backup, because it's assumed that the guy that won the starting job played better in the spring and in the fall than the guy who's the backup. There's an art to, I think, managing the egos. And I don't mean that Heinrich Haarberg has a big head and thinks so much of himself, but he's a confident young man. He should be, with all the gifts and the fact that he helped lead Nebraska to 5 wins last year. There's an art to how you talk about how these competitions go down. But I don't think Matt Rhule is worried about, what the press would say if he said, yeah, Dylan was just better than Heinrich all summer and all fall, so that's why he's the starter. I think the way Matt Rhule talked about it is more an attempt to show Heinrich Haarberg that he's valued rather than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, again, that's an individual situation that speaks to the broader scope of what I say about his tact. I think he's very tactful in the way that he handled it. Listen, with the way things are and the things that we've seen and the turnover that we've seen on a lot of programs.
And turnovers from this program.
Yeah, too. When you look at it, you know that there's something special. There's a rapport. There's an understanding. There's a trust. All of these things you just have to know are going on. And then when you listen to him speak, you can see that there's tact. So, it was a way to show that it wasn't anything special. So this is why, it's special, but it doesn't give that perception of that you're unique or different. I called him in, I called him next, and I spoke to him walking. Yeah. It doesn't show that we're doing anything behind closed doors. Is all out in the open. I just shared with him, hey, we put it out, the graphic that you're going to be the starter, and keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, so there's no pressure. It's like, nah, I'm not putting pressure on you. I'm not making you look like you're better or different than anybody else. I'm just, handling business as we handle business. And so I actually like it.
Thunderknock Collins responded and said, Saban wasn't great because he worried about feelings. He set a standard and you met it or you didn't play, like Tua and Hurts. He can lift up the backups and say what everyone else is already assuming. The issue I have is that coaches not saying the quiet part out loud allows the media who need clicks to misconstrue what he said. I mean, sure, that happens, but I also don't think there's a quarterback controversy. I think Matt Rhule has handled it very well, right? He was very clear that, Dylan Raiola did meet the standard. He said he has elite arm strength, said he's good at reading the RPO game. He knows the run checks. And what Matt Rhule
worked on the area of his weakness,
the pocket presence, right? Matt Rhule said, yeah, maybe Dylan had the edge before, but he wasn't the starter until he did this.
Mm-hmm.
He met that standard that Matt Rhule set for him. So he's the starting quarterback. Whether he had the edge or didn't have the edge, he did what was expected. He did what was asked. So now he's the starting quarterback. So Dylan Raiola met that standard. Heinrich Haarberg, obviously didn't. That's why he's a backup.
But he
has
said
another
he improved.
standard. He improved.
He said he's way leaps and bounds better than he was last year. It just wasn't enough to overtake. But he's valuable.
Yes.
He's valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to use that.
Yes. You don't want him to transfer.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll go next, Stricky. Ross Dellinger of Yahoo Sports put this out. The NCAA Football Oversight Committee has recommended a proposal to the Division I Council that would eliminate the 15-day transfer portal window in the spring. So right now you have the 30-day period after conference championships are complete in December and into January. And then you have a 15-day window during or right after spring practice for most teams. The Football Oversight Committee is saying, we recommend that we get rid of that 15-day window, meaning college football players would only have 30 days in which they could enter the transfer portal and be immediately eligible at their next school. So right now, or for the next year, it'll be December 9th through January 7th. And as of right now, student athletes could transfer from April 16th to 30th of 2025. The recommendation is to lop off that April one. The reason from the committee an attempt to stabilize rosters at a time of high player movement. The management of rosters has grown considerably more difficult as the NCAA and members have loosened transfer restrictions, many of those changes triggered by antitrust lawsuits. Good idea, bad idea to get rid of the 15-day window in April for college football?
I like it. The reason that I like it may be a little bit different than maybe some others. You know, they may have a different reason as to why they like it. I like it because not just even the turnover of teams and the stability of that. I like that if you go into spring, do your thing, you get your report card, you have to develop, it doesn't give you an out to quit. It forces you to get better, to compete, to fight for time, and not just run to where I think I may be able to get in where I have another opportunity. You had an opportunity. Okay, you saw the writing on the wall. Maybe this guy was better. If you don't want the smoke, then you can bounce now. Otherwise, you're gonna have to stick and stay. Red shirt if you want, but you're gonna have to stick and stay. And I think it's fair. I think it's fair to all parties because the pressure that it puts on some of these programs too. Now I've got to go back and, I thought we were good. Now I got to go back and hustle up because we're short on a position, or I'm short of a guard, or I'm short. You know what I mean? I don't like that. I don't think it's fair on the other side of the coin, but obviously it's been not fair for a long time, but I think a one transfer period, I think it's good.
I see where you're coming from, and I agree with all your points. You're not wrong in what you said. I do think that the change would incentivize more and more athletes to stick it out of their current spot and try to compete. I just wonder how many athletes would have been, told one thing during the winter, not done anything wrong, then the coach changes his mind in the spring. How many players are going to need an out because a position coach left?
I think you still I think you should leave that. Okay, go ahead.
Potentially.
I think you should leave that part.
If
coaches leave, I still think you should be able to leave.
Right now, I don't know if position coaches are included, but I know if the head coach leaves, you have 30 days, no matter what, for that to open up. So on the one hand, I like the idea of just the one window. It'll simplify things for everyone, for players and for coaches. But the funny part about it is that more often than not, it's coaches that are complaining about, oh, it's too crazy. How are we supposed to know who's on our team? And yet, Stricky, the coaches and the teams, but the coaches are the ones who are mining the transfer portal after spring. Oh, that guy didn't win a job at the school. Let's go get him. We have a connection there. So I almost think coaches don't necessarily know what they're in for because they've relied on the spring window to some degree, right? Guys that thought they had a better chance than maybe they truly did to win a job. Someone bursts onto the scene that a guy wasn't expecting. A guy that expected to make the jump from backup to starter is still a backup after spring. Those guys hit the portal, with relative frequency, and they get scooped up, right? If they were thought to be a starter, if they have a high enough pedigree. So I'm almost telling college coaches to be careful what you wish for, because I like that they would, have to invest in the players they recruited and not be able to kick them to the curb and say, we don't like you, we're going to replace you. But what if someone gets hurt and you need a replacement? There's no one else on the roster ready. Or what if it turns out that, hey, maybe your room isn't as good as you thought this year. You like the guys you have, but they're a year away. Well, hey, guess what? You used to have a quick fix. Now you don't. So again, generally speaking, I'm okay with it. I just think this push coming from the coaches about, it's so hard to manage our rosters. Yeah, it is, but you've also benefited from it quite a bit.
That's the part that I said. I know that it has been over the other way, but again, and again, it could be generational thing. I just come from a generation where, you had to fight for what you wanted. And just because I don't like the fight that I'm in, then I can just up and run to the next territory. I don't know. And again, it just could be just a generational mindset that I have about it, as opposed to someone else, and that's okay. I don't see a problem with it either way, just to be honest. But I'm not mad at it if they do implement.
We have a few recommendations from the text line. What's your thoughts on these here, Stricky? 2280 says, what if you keep that April window of 15 days, but if you transfer during that window, you don't have immediate eligibility?
So then you'd have to wait till the semester?
Sit out the year.
Mm-hmm. Oh. I wouldn't be opposed to that either. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I just don't like because listen, I don't think people understand, right? The strain. So I'm going to give you from a player perspective, the strain of this. It's different on the professional level because the professional level is business, right? I'm going to say it from this level. I'm going to stay specific to a room too. I'm not going to say as a whole. Say a room. You've worked your butt off. You've put yourself in a position, and then someone just shows up out the blue and comes into the room, and now all of a sudden they're just with no practices, they're in the mind's eye of the coaching staff and everything that they're saying and everything that you're seeing. They're being coddled to. They're being, because you kind of have to do that. You kind of have to receive them and give them the dog and pony show. And you're seeing this as a player and how that can affect you, how it can affect the room, how it can affect your desire to give your all to it. Cause you're looking at it like, well, dang, I just worked my tail off. I put myself in now all of a sudden you're just going to bring somebody in here. Like, I don't think we look at it from a life perspective from the eyes of those young men or women in the freaking room.
Yeah.
We just look at it from the standpoint as people who are observing and wanting to get better and excited about, oh, this type of player come. You know, I think you want to take into account like that type of friction as well.
Huskers P says you get 45 days to transfer, but the window opens the day after the national championship game. And that's that.
Great ideas. Y'all should be in the committee.
The issue, I think, with that is that it runs into signing day.
Oh.
Right now, you already have a month of pretty key recruiting time with the transfer portal open. If you leave it open any longer, and especially if you wait till after the national championship game, you're running even closer, if not into early or signing day in February, which I know early signing day in December is a big deal, and there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah, because you want to have an establishment, right?
Yeah.
Of kind of what it looks like, so you know what you're signing, and then they kind of know if they want to sign, or they can make their change. I mean, they can make their change at the last minute. I mean, I don't know. We're giving a lot of deference to players these days. They're getting a lot of benefits. And listen, again, I think it's being corrected in the right manner. I think it's just eventually they need to work out this balance.
Yeah, I'm with you. And yeah, Huskers P fall is the biggest time for recruiting, but winter's right there, especially with the signing day in December. The last idea before we get to break here, Strick. Ben says, put restrictions on when coaches can leave. That would be an interesting experiment. The reason I don't think that flies is because the coaches are professionals. Limiting their movement, I mean, it's already kind of in their contracts. They're not supposed to leave, yet they do anyways. So I don't think you'd be able to get away with telling professionals when they can and can't change jobs.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference.
So,
yeah.
Good stuff there. We'll go to break. When we get back, some interesting comments from John Cook at his kind of preseason press conference, specifically on Harper Murray, right? We know there's the documentary coming out. The Drive had the director of the documentary from the 4-Letter Network on earlier in the week. Definitely check that out on the podcast. Just search for, or the Drive on 93.7 The Ticket. You'll find it. John Cook with some interesting stuff to say about his captain, Merritt Beeson, talented sophomore Harper Murray. Plenty more to get to on Husker volleyball in the transfer portal when we get back to On the Block.
Over 75% of the patients that come to Limitless Male have been told over and over again by their primary care providers that their testosterone level is fine. Guess what? If you have all the symptoms of low testosterone, you're not fine. Come get a second opinion at Limitless Male. We have helped tens of thousands of men feel optimal again, and we can help you. Stop waiting. Come see the men's health experts. Book your free consult online at limitlessmale.com.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
It's time for a home technology makeover. And with special Labor Day savings on top name electronics, you can take your home, backyard, or tailgate to an all-new level. Choose from top name TVs like Sony, LG, and Samsung, including Samsung's popular frame TV that blends seamlessly into your decor. Experience game day throughout your entire home with a new audio system from Sonos, now with special Labor Day bundle savings. Transform your game day this Labor Day with the experts at Schaefer's.
Hey, it's Chad with Nutrition Authority inviting you to stop in and check out the #1 selling complete post-workout product, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out, exercises, or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today, try a free sample, or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com. A new school year is here with summer coming to an end, and it's time to get into proper shoes. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this August with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular priced athletic shoe with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. Don't forget, Browns carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start the fall season off right with the August Athletic Shoe Sale at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program. Hope is only a conversation away when you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Husker Nation, your women's basketball team is gearing up for another incredible season, and you can be right in the heart of the action. Get your season tickets today and guarantee your spot for another year of Husker dominance. Witness every key basket, every clutch steal, and celebrate every victory with the most dedicated fans in the nation. Don't wait. Head over to huskers.com/tickets and secure your seat for this unforgettable season. Go Big Red.
Veterans, do you know what local, state, and federal benefits and services you're eligible to receive? Do you want help navigating the application or appeals process? Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. You've served our country, now let us serve you. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service, employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. Navigating the legal system can be stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. Liberty Law Group is here to do the heavy lifting for you. We believe in treating every client with respect and understanding. When you're in need of legal assistance, trust Liberty Law Group to fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
The Link Grill Draft and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree option. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Matt Rhule, not the only coach speaking ahead of his team's season. John Cook, Husker volleyball coach, at the podium yesterday. I'm Austin Norman, Eric Strickland to my left. Stricky, got a little something new during break. But you
Bam!
got it. A little lower. Keep going. There we go. Who would be so kind as to provide that?
Hey, he's one of our blockheads.
Would you call him an OG blockhead?
CJ. Stopped through, man, and dropped us off, man. He's wonderful, and I'm going to use it tomorrow. I got to play in a charity golf event, and I'm going to fill it up with some athletes. Shout out to Jay Foreman.
It is literally the size of my forearm. 52
it is
ounces.
Huge.
Patriotic, as all get out.
Once you fill it up, you don't have to.
No refills.
No refills. You good to go. Yeah, man. Thanks, OG CJ. We appreciate you, man, for the love. Want to send that love back to you as he leaves the ticket. This is what I tell you, man. You know, we're right here, 11th and 0. You're welcome, 1040 O Street. You're welcome to always stop by and just say hello. And it's not always that we love what you drop off, you know. But I will say that we're definitely appreciative of you guys and your continued support of what you do for us here at 93.7 The Ticket.
We love you because of who you are, not because of what you do for us.
Part.
But we might love you more if you come through like OG CJ.
Yeah.
There's a reason he's an OG.
Yeah.
So
yeah. That's it.
That's all we're going to say.
That's all we're going to say about that.
Let's take a couple minutes and listen to John Cook here. He was asked about Harper Murray and the growth. I pulled this clip from Lauren Michelson on Twitter at the press conference. Here is what John Cook had to say about Harper Murray, her growth, and kind of how the team has rallied around the star sophomore outside hitter.
She's done much better, but there's still ups and downs with her, you know, and she's navigating through that. The biggest thing I've seen in Harper is she's really matured. She's much more, our conversations and how she handled things, she's much more mature now. Where last year she was a squirrely freshman, you know, and I just think she's been humbled and she's mature. She's done a lot of work. She's trying. It's not perfect every day. And she, like all of them, they're struggling. I mean, I've seen Lexi and Merritt. I mean, I've seen them both break down in the last 2 weeks. I mean, this ain't easy what we're doing. And we're, you know, we push them. And so they are all going through that. And Harper is too. Harper just may have a little more that she has to deal with, and getting through her first press conference. You know, that was a big deal for her to get through that. Was it perfect? No. But, you know, she didn't answer Brent's question because she was going to lose it. She didn't want to lose it in front of you guys. So her and Merritt had they had a plan. She didn't feel comfortable. Merritt was going to help her. And that's why Merritt's a great captain. So, but, you know, you got to think about, you walk in her shoes, you know, what she's gone through. And, you know, and like you guys see in the documentary, you know, we got to believe in these kids because there's so much doubt and negativity out there. So if I'm not believing in them and my staff's not believing in them, who is? So time times have changed a lot. And anyway, as we say, the great ones adjust.
A lot there from John Cook, Strick. This is an extremely talented young player in Harper Murray who's had a rough offseason.
Yeah.
You know, some things in her control, some things out of her control. And in case you missed it, you know, Harper Murray was asked about, you know, how she's handled the offseason, and she kind of gave a shake of her head, said, no, just looked at Merritt Beeson, and Merritt Beeson took it away. I think there's a lot there from John Cook, right? The team's rallied around behind her. Merritt Beeson has stepped up into a leadership role for Harper Murray. And what Nebraska is doing, you know, on the volleyball court is tough enough as it is, without any distractions or anything else going on off the court. I mean, Lexi Rodriguez has been in the program for years. Merritt Beeson's second year, and she's a captain again, right? It's tough on them, let alone, you know, a young woman in Harper Murray who's still trying to figure out who she is, how to, you know, grow her actual, you know, volleyball skills at the collegiate level. John Cook's right. You know, we don't know everything that's going on with her and for her. And, you know, maybe there will be more of that revealed in the documentary that comes out. But I think that answer from John Cook, and even how Merritt Beeson took the question from Harper Murray, proves, you know, how and why Nebraska volleyball is where it is as a program.
I mean, that's it. I mean, one of the things I think is, you know, that teams go through some forms of adversity. Sometimes during the season, right? Sometimes during the season, sometimes the off season, sometimes it's between a coach and a player, disagreements. There's always something. But the beautiful thing about the culture that has been established there is that we ride for each other, right? They're for each other. I liked what he said, Coach Cook said, about they got a plan, right? They had a plan on how they knew that it was going to get tough. She held form in the face of it all. When at some instances it's been easy to just kind of lay away, hide away, and it's eventually going to come looking for you. That's part of what the job is. And the fact that you know that you got somebody that's rock solid beside you to help you through that. And it's not always how it goes when you're sitting in the presser, in the press row or whatever. It's not always how it's the aftermath. It's the emotions that come after. And that's when you really want your brother or sister to be there with you. Because that's where it hurts. That's those silent, quiet moments. That's that moment when someone calls you and says, hey, I'm going to come get you. I'm going to, just come get, and we're just going to go out to eat. You know what I mean? Because we can wallow in it. We can be in our own mindsets. It's so many things that we can have. There he is.
MVP
it's a
Mike
beautiful
is
day.
back.
It's a beautiful day.
Holy cow.
Whoa.
Stricky, what did we do to deserve today?
What did we do to deserve?
What did we do?
Yes. Man, MVP Mike shows up once again, right on time. But as I was saying, it's just one of those things that we have to endure. We have to, and that doggone fly found.
I'll take the blame for that. I'm going to open the door. That's on me.
Yeah, I kicked him out. Now
Tricky,
he's just
Tricky, how you look so fly.
I don't understand.
Tricky, how you get.
There's
so
nothing
fly.
in here. Like, all the goodies is out there. The meal. Oh no! I don't want to hear it. You know, they got the meal. They got the coffee. They got all the sandwiches and Beatrice Bakery. All of the goodies is out there, and he wants to come in here and play.
Leave us alone. Leave us alone.
Anyway, great day because we got great
CJ,
gifts.
MVP Mike, blockheads coming through for us as they always do.
And guess who else came through? Good Sense.
Good Sense came through. As they do every Friday for us.
It's a great day.
5 Lincoln locations. Check them out if you need dinner plans yet tonight. While we're on Nebraska volleyball here, Strick, they didn't face much adversity last year, right? They made it look easy.
Yeah.
A team with no seniors on the roster didn't lose a game until the last week of the regular season. Black Friday at Wisconsin, they get swept. They bounce back the next day and beat Minnesota before getting pasted by Texas in the national championship game. It's always national championship or bust with this program, at least Final Four or bust with the Nebraska volleyball program. Is that a fair expectation for this team after the season they had last year?
Listen, they are deep. If you're not performing, you're gonna have somebody that's gonna come and get you.
Mm-hmm.
So it challenges you. It makes you better. It iron sharpens iron,
mm-hmm.
and that's what they have. they just fell apart last year. And I don't even want to attribute it to youth. I don't want to attribute it. I just think that a team jumped on them and they didn't know how to handle it. I think they learned from that. I think they'll be better for that this year. And I think you'll see a resurgence of Nebraska volleyball, hopefully lifting it up this year. I mean, the volleyball across the nation is tough right now.
Mm-hmm.
Texas has definitely revamped themselves. And so it's going to be tough. And hopefully we'll see a little revenge factor and knock them out next year.
First game for the Huskers is on Tuesday. They take on Kentucky. Not at Kentucky. It's in Louisville, though. So neutral site game technically, but, closer to Kentucky's home court. Nebraska has Texas A&M Corpus Christi a week from today. TCU on the day of the UTEP game as well. And then it gets interesting. SMU on the schedule. Creighton on September 10th. That's a Tuesday as well. Arizona State, Wichita State. And then back-to-back matches to end out non-conference play, Strick, at Louisville, or host Stanford, and then at Louisville. That's a crazy non-conference schedule before you get into the deepest, strongest volleyball league, outside of the professional ranks. Like, the Big Ten is the feeder system, essentially, for professional volleyball right now. The ACC's making some strides. Pac-12 was solid when it was still up. But holy cow, a non-conference gauntlet, then the Big Ten grind. It makes sense why John Cook has to push his team as hard as he does, to where even, captains are kind of losing their minds a little bit, having to refocus before the season gets going. That's what it's going to take for this team this year.
That's what it's going to take. And I've got to say that in a similar manner, John Cook that's what he's built this program on, is we're going to challenge you. We're going to challenge you at the highest levels, but it's going to prepare you now for next levels that are available to you, where you don't have to go overseas and do it. You can do it right here, right up the street. And you can be drafted and continue this game, and we're going to prepare you for it. And we're going to play you at the best against the best, and we're going to, we're going to put you right in the mix, and you're going to have to sink or swim. And I'm sure I don't think you've done it yet, but there are some that they babies, and they put them in the pool and let them go to work.
Hey, kid loves the bathtub.
Yeah, but there you go.
He has a little
Sink or
wading
swim,
pool.
young fella.
He sat in a little wading pool before, about 3 inches deep. Loves the tub. He's standing up in the tub, like putting his hands on the side and just standing up. Scares the poop out of his mom and dad, but he's made it look pretty easy, all things considered. Darn kid.
He's got good balance.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
This is why we want him to be Herbie.
That's still on the table.
Baby Herbie.
Troy Danon, you have my number.
NIL for Baby Herbie.
Bring it. Troy Danon, you have my number. Matt Rhule, I can get you my number. Very easy. Let's go to break. We're going to talk to MVP Mike, get some of this Mercado beef jerky. We'll round out the show with a crossover next.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick the time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Play ball! Summertime is here, and so is another action-packed baseball season with the Lincoln Salt Dogs. Bring your whole crew to Haymarket Park to experience the magic under the lights and the thrill of the game. Enjoy daily specials like Wiener Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Fireworks Friday, and Family Fun Day Sunday, plus special events and discounts. Don't miss out on the excitement.
Strike three, you're out.
Visit saltdogs.com to see this week's promotions and secure your tickets to unleash the fun.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, probably sunny skies with the high around 85. Tonight, probably cloudy skies, but showers and storms arrive late. See a low around 70. And tomorrow, decreasing cloud cover throughout the day. It'll be hot with the high around 95. I'm meteorologist Kyle Cluck for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Have an anniversary coming up? I've got you covered. Celebrate your love with the timeless elegance of jewelry. This anniversary, give the gift of sapphires, emeralds, rubies, or gold. Find the perfect piece that reflects the beauty and depth of your commitment. Whether it's your first anniversary or your 50th, surprise your loved one with a gem as beautiful and rare as she is. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
A new school year is here with summer coming to an end, and it's time to get into proper shoes. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this August with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular priced athletic shoe with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. Don't forget, Browns carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start the fall season off right with the August athletic shoe sale at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
I can't believe I just scratched that card. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Veterans, do you know what local, state, and federal benefits and services you're eligible to receive? Do you want help navigating the application or appeals process? Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. You've served our country, now let us serve you. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're blessed. Stricky, what a day. What a day.
Yeah, man, it's all good, man.
That's Jay Foreman. Welcome in, Jay.
It's my favorite Seattle Seahawks fan. And I picked them to be the surprise team in the NFL.
Yeah?
You did.
Quietly.
You did.
They're gonna be hurting people.
You feel it?
I watched the only two preseason games, and I was impressed by the rookie head coach, the athletic, the speed, physicality, the size. And I felt like that's a great place to go if I'm a rookie head coach. You got an established quarterback in Geno. You got two number one receivers. You got one of the better slot receivers in the last 10 years. You got a up-and-coming tight end, commitment to run.
You like Grubb staying in Seattle as OC from Washington up to Seattle?
I think it brings it.
We'll see.
Yeah, but I think I think with Geno, and I think you can't be a bad coordinator when you got one of the top 10 receivers, one of the top young receivers coming, a quarterback that can deliver the mail.
Underrated guy in Lockett.
Yeah, one of the better slot receivers in the last 10 years, 12 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kenneth Walker.
Yeah. You got a true number one running back. Not a better place to be with a
get it started.
Rookie head coach, and it's a winning culture, which is huge.
Yeah.
Winning culture.
Yeah.
How much pressure is there from Seahawks fans with Pete Carroll's departure? I know his tenure maybe, got old at the end when they weren't as good as they were at the Legion of Boom. Is there much pressure? Or are they just excited for the change that's, they respect Pete Carroll, but they're just glad to have someone else? What's the pressure level for the
I think the way he left and his relationship with ownership, I don't think it's that much pressure. Plus he's just a professor now at USC. That's who's under pressure.
True.
You got the Godfather on campus teaching.
Lincoln Riley, watch out.
Hey, listen, because if stuff gets hairy, he can go from the classroom to the film room real quick, and then people will start pouring in money, and he can recruit. Man, I'm telling you, Pete Carroll's he could coach with his energy level, true energy level, zest for life, until he just dies, and that sounds like truth.
Yeah.
Would Pete Carroll do that?
What?
Insert himself? Riley?
No, he's not going to insert himself. He will be if Lincoln Riley. I'm telling you, this is a hot
take.
He
fumbles it back. Come on.
He won't make it to Thanksgiving. First of all, I saw the way he cooked his brisket, which I got coming in a couple weeks. His was dry as sandpaper. That's a fireable offense anyway, Strick. You know that. You go to a barbecue, what?
Yeah.
It's the potato salad.
Yeah.
It's the ribs or brisket or macaroni and cheese.
It's not macaroni.
Yeah.
And the baked beans.
And the baked beans. If you don't come with them, you fired.
Better bring the phone.
Correct. Yeah.
Better bring the phone.
And they're gonna ask who brought you, and then that's two people fired. But if Lincoln Riley doesn't get it right, I can see him getting jettisoned out of USC. And if you want to coach, I think Pete Carroll would be a great bridge coach. One, he brings some respectability back. He could put together an excellent staff. And then I think he would be okay with transitioning to the next head coach and handing it off to somebody that he would handpick.
Give them the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, give them the time.
2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is that a case where USC would, say they fire Lincoln Riley, look at the options out there, not be sold on any of them, maybe want to see another year and say, hey, Pete, you got a year left in you? And wait to see who's available.
It'll take 2 or 3 years. I don't wish any ill will on Lincoln Riley. I just feel like I think he took that job because, one, it's a ton of money and the easy path. I think he felt like the runway was unlimited, and as we've seen around here, it can change like on a dime. And college football changed, so that I think that really affected Lincoln Riley more than anybody else. Because if the Pac-12 stayed packed, stayed together, he'd always be competitive. Now, last year was the best year that the Pac-12 I think has had top to bottom in probably
It's been a while.
15 to 20 years, maybe even longer than that, right? And you saw, and the reason is because as bad as Colorado was at the end of the season, in a normal Pac-12 year, like we saw when they came here, I think when Mike Riley was here, you'll mess around, go to
that
a big
Frost. It was the first 2 years of Frost.
Yeah, Frost. You'll go to a big bowl game. The competition was too thick. That will cycle itself out. So USC will always be there, at the end or in the mix.
To use the Jay Foreman word, Zachariah Branch is hellified.
Yeah.
He's legit.
Yeah. So if Lincoln Riley stubs his toe, there's nobody else out there that really would be attractive. That can USC is not a coaching job. It's a public figure job. It's a booster job. It's how you interact and mingle with the superstars. It's the respect. It's an alumni job even more than here. Because listen, you got guys that are, we had great players here, but you got guys that are some of the greatest college football players ever and the greatest NFL players of all time that are immensely influential in the program, but entrenched in the day-to-day operations. You get what I'm saying? Now, look, if USC, exceeds, I think there will be a little bit better defensively. I just think that they've never recruited to this type of size and speed. And Lincoln Riley, I always say this, Lincoln Riley doesn't know what good defense is. He's never wanted a good defense.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even know, and you can't fault him for it, right? Because when he took over, you got to think how he was an offensive coordinator. You get handed the keys to a Maserati when Stoops leaves. And in the Big 12, you didn't need any defense. And they were only one that had somewhat of a defense. Right? That's only because Stoops was in the Big 12, they had
Baylor came on with defense. Oklahoma State played some defense. That's where K-State started. So, early in Lincoln Riley's tenure, yes.
They had the follow.
Later in the tenure, defense started coming.
Defense was optional. You want to go to practice, you want to play
Oklahoma,
defense.
Yes. But for the rest of the Big 12, defense has stepped up.
Yes, but I'm saying just over his tenure and what Oklahoma is known for, plus part of their defense, Austin and Strick, was their ability to score points. So and we saw that
force you to have to try to
to keep up, right? So then that just it plays to their defense. So, Pete Carroll, why wouldn't he? I listened to him on XM, and the fact that he said. And I think and this is where Bill Belichick will run into some trouble. Their success works against them, and it's the dumbest thing ever. Now, Bill Belichick comes with a little bit more, I wouldn't even call it baggage, but just like things that come with him than Pete Carroll. Because Bill Belichick, whether he says it or not, he gonna want he want total control. He want Charmin on the toilet paper. He want wet wipes in there or dude wipes. He just want everything under his way. And I think Bill Belichick, the way he coaches, he needs a owner and GM that are 100% on board with that. And that's why it was so great at New England and it didn't work out as much in Cleveland.
Let's pause 10 quick seconds for station ID here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
So Belichick's a Charmin guy. Does he make his players use one ply and double fold?
Yeah, until you start making plays. Yeah.
Then you're up to 2 ply. Then you're up to Charmin.
Yeah.
3 levels.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, it's just interesting. Look, we're Florida State's playing tomorrow morning, right?
11 o'clock kickoff Central Time.
It's on and popping. Pads are going to be sticking.
Clicking.
Hey.
Clicking and clacking.
That's it. There ain't no fair dodging, man. The great thing about football is all the talking, all that stuff, it just goes to the wayside. It's the craziest thing ever. In other sports, it can linger because there's more games. Like basketball, college basketball, they play 30, 40 games. NBA, they play 82 games.
Yeah.
Baseball, they play 162 or something like that. Hockey, professional hockey, they play 80 something. Football, whether it's college or pros, all that stuff that you either said or was written about you up until the time kickoff, when you on that field, there's nobody that can save you. And that's the hardest part, to transition from that. Because, really a lot of times the clicks are your safe. It's like your binky for some kids. Well, you got to think Georgia Tech, they ain't scared of Florida State. They didn't. First of all, they know you. Okay, they know you. Number two, there's a little bit of I guess excitement or energy into the program because the coach came back and they ended well. So that's where you could, Florida State could be set. And now Florida State feels like they're entitled to something because they didn't get it last year.
They missed it, right?
Right. And then they got DJ, the quarterback, which is him and Cam Ward, I think are the two better quarterbacks to get. But now you're living with expectations or trying to fight or play up to expectations based on last year. And that's it's a whole new territory for them. I felt like Florida State surprised some people last year.
They were 9-3, 10-3 team for the year before that,
Right.
but to play the way they did and really not even run into that many scares
Right.
till middle later of the year.
And that was injury. Travis got hurt.
Right.
And you're right, Austin. The eye test of Florida State was significantly different than the year before. That's why I always say, like, people, like everybody, and granted, I'm not sitting up here like trying to minimize win and losses, but you can be 10-2 one year and 8-4 the next, and you can be a better team in 8-4.
Yeah.
Realistically, you can't. That's where the unrealistic evaluation or fans is gets out of hand, because whether it's Bo Pelini always going 9-3, okay, you getting rocked at 3 losses. So how really close are you? Or you 10-2 and the schedule sets up and you get some bounces to go your way, right? Like, I mean, a perfect example. Look at Louisville, right? Louisville up until a week before they played Florida State. Correct me if I'm wrong, Austin and Strick. They thought they should be in the playoffs, right?
They were building toward it.
Right, they were building towards it. Well, guess what they did? They couldn't beat Florida State with their 4th-team quarterback. He was on the practice squad,
right?
Because Travis got hurt, then the backup got hurt.
So Louisville started the year off 6-0. They
Right.
lost to Pitt by 17 on the
Right.
road. They bounced back. They shut out Duke. They beat Virginia Tech by 30.
Right.
Squeak by Virginia. Win at Miami by a touchdown. Lose the Bluegrass Showdown to Kentucky by a touchdown. 16-6 against Florida State.
That was it.
We're never even in that game.
And then talk about the bowl game.
And then USC.
Bowl game.
42-28. Third-string quarterback throws 6 tutties on your head.
Right. Right. So so it's a lot different. So that record for them, on the surface looks good, but in reality,
it was sus.
It's suspect because you were inconsistent. You lost to some teams that you shouldn't have. You didn't play well, even though you lost by 7 in the rivalry game against Kentucky, because that's a late touchdown. You got out physical. You got out coached. The Pitt game, Pitt was essentially coaching for their coaching lives. And so you could put the dagger in the heart, not only in that coaching staff, that program, but just really stake claim to who you are. And you get mollywopped. I mean,
Louisville was up 21-14 at half and allowed 24 unanswered in the second half. Didn't score.
Right. So then you look at, okay, well, what did you do or didn't do at halftime? 24 unanswered.
You just went out and laid an egg?
Hey, and you're an offensive coach. You're supposed to be an offensive guru. So the great thing about it, football is always settled in between the lines. You know that, Strick. It's nobody's good until you get in front of them and see, until they see you can go around you. So it's football season. It's in the air. And
they're jumping off tomorrow.
I'd be over in Ireland just hype.
Man.
Yeah. Because I would be saying stuff to them. They wouldn't even know. I said, now you over here. Because once I'm done with you, you ain't going home. You ain't getting on. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting on the play. I'm just going to just be medieval on you. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching Game of Thrones, Conan the Barbarian. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I know I might not take a shower for 2 or 3 days, not even brush the teeth. I'm just disrespectful as a mother.
Did you see Rick Pitino going medieval?
Oh, he had a sword and it got stolen.
Yeah, stolen from his office.
I ain't mad at him. I got a couple of those.
Do you?
Bullhorns or swords?
I got some swords. I got a Game of Thrones replica now.
I asked Strick this question. What do you have any particular memories from stepping into a coach's office? Like, you walk into Rick Pitino's office, you see a sword and a bullhorn on the desk. Like, you have some thoughts. Like, any memorable coach's office meetings for you?
Well, I'll tell you this. So I went down to Dallas, and this is after my 7th year. I went down to Dallas, and Bill Parcells was the coach. Okay. And the thing is crazy. So you go there and they separate it. So like I was supposed to go in there for like a workout, and they didn't really work out. They just wanted to make sure I had a heartbeat and a pulse, right? So they were, because it was kind of like, it was like me and Michael Barrow, right? And he was coming in later. He was a little bit later, and then they had some guys working out. So I warmed up a little bit, and Bill Parcells is like down in the other corner of the end zone, and that's 120 yards. But I felt like my man was looking at me right there. and I didn't. And Bill Parcells is a big dude, like tall dude, but he ain't built.
Yeah,
he's
bad
built.
built.
He's bad
built.
built. And you walk into his office, the big, the Dallas, big old thing. And so I'm walking in, I'm walking in this way, right? He's facing, I'll never forget this. Your boy was scared though, right? I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was intimidated. That's probably why I didn't end up signing there. And he just flips around.
Like Emperor Palpatine style?
He's like, I know your dad, right? I'm like, no. He's like, I know him real well. And then, after that, but then, he comes around, we're facing off, then he stands up, and then, after that, it was pretty cool. That was it. Dom Capers, where it went in Houston, was a little different because I was a captain the first time I was voted captain. So it was my first year there. So he wanted to meet with us individually. And we had this thing where we were, we'd, as a defense, meet third down blitz period. So I was late getting up there.
Yeah.
And, and Gary Walker had known Dom in Jacksonville. So all the guys, Gary Walker and Seth Payne knew Dom. So they just probably texted him or whatever. So I go up there, and Dom, his wife, is a stewardess. So, she'll be gone for a while, especially all during training camp, she'll be gone. I didn't know that Dom would, had slept up there, like he had like an apartment, he has a shower and everything. So I walk in there, you know what I'm saying? He got his little bed out, like little cottage. I mean, it's nice, you know what I'm saying? My man has workout shirt and shorts there, all sweaty.
He was getting it in.
Yeah. Big. We guys call him the Cobra because my man that's all he's done is that lat pull down.
That was it. He looked like a little. Just his back was just swole.
And just for men there. Just for men.
Just for Dom.
Yeah. Now I will tell you when I dive a little deeper into my podcast and stuff that we're gonna be doing later. Hopefully that the sales dudes around here get it. One of the craziest stories I had when I broke my leg, man. I will never forget this. I seen a man do something in the locker room. No, nothing bad, but it was the funniest thing ever.
Mm.
And then he proceeded to go. We just had this big bowl of trail mix, and he put his hand in the trail. I'll never forget this, man. And I never looked at him the same.
He put his hand in the trail mix.
But what he did before though was legendary. And I had a broke leg, so I was in the handicap shower. So it took me 10 minutes to get out of there. You struggling to put your pants on. I'm trying to be prideful. Look over. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I see why I see why you are the way you are.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying, Stricky?
There it is. I see why you is where you is.
Yeah.
And who's you ain't. Good stuff.
There it is.
Stricky, my guy, have a good weekend.
Yeah, man.
We'll be back on Monday, 2 to 4
It's gonna
on
be
the
hot
block.
tomorrow. Dang,
Hot
I gotta
tomorrow.
go play golf. Oof.
And then it's game week.
Where are you playing at?
Charity event up at what's the spot we went to when we used to do the Big Red?
Tiburon.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna break you down. You better get some athletes in you, boy.
Look,
you was talking about it all day, Jay.
Yeah, you better get some athletes.
It's all here. Athletes. I need the athletes. Couple athletes coming up next on Old School.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your